Almost.
You said song already?
Sing a song.
I mean, it's starting.
Reduce, reuse, and recycle. I'm sure we've heard this phrase used many times within the past decade or so, and it's really big in the sense of recycling. One thing, though, that has fallen behind are rural areas in the sense of recycling. And for the City Council of Decatur, which y'all are today, this is a big deal because Decatur has fallen behind in recycling. And we are also in a rural area. So this summer I moved to Georgetown, Texas, which is just outside of Austin. And so for that, I've noticed how prevalent and available that recycling is for this town. And it's made me think back to my hometown of Decatur. I've done a lot of research on the topic of recycling within the past couple of weeks, and I've seen how considerably lack of accessibilities that small towns have to recycling. And that's the issue that I want to talk to y'all about today. So for recycling accessibilities, Decatur needs to partner with a recycling program. And so before we get on and talking about how to solve this problem, I want to go ahead and talk about the reasons why Decatur has a lack of recycling accessibility, and then discuss how partnering with a recycling program will help benefit the town. But we can't begin to fix the issue of recycling until we figure out why there is an issue. And so on this slide that I've put up here, I've put up a map of Texas. And over here I can see and show y'all that Decatur is that little dot right there. And it's right outside of the DFW area, which is extremely populated if y'all have been around there. So the next thing that I did is I wanted to see what areas do offer recycling around Decatur. And so whenever I looked that up, I was kind of shocked because there's no recycling facility anywhere within a 20-mile radius of Decatur, Texas. And so on here you can see that Decatur's up there, and then the closest areas are in Sanger or DFW, which is close to a 40-minute drive outside of Decatur. And that's been an issue as to why we don't have the accessibility of recycling, especially the citizens. And so that is the first issue that I just want to talk about. And another thing that we do in Decatur is we use landfills, as many places do. But the issue with landfills is that they're often wasteful and more expensive, quite honestly. And so the Municipal Solid Waste, which was an article that was published in the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency in 2014, it says that the average person generates 4 pounds of trash a day. So whenever you think about that, that doesn't seem like a whole lot of trash produced. But whenever you count it into a whole year, you produce 1.5 tons of solid waste per year. And I thought about that, and it seemed like a big issue. And so for the United States Census Bureau in 2017, it says that Decatur has a population of 6,721 people. Now, that also is a very small town if you know the census of other places around. But whenever you put in that we produce 1.5 tons of waste every year for one person, Decatur produces 10,081.5 tons of waste every year. And that's a lot of waste and a lot of space taken up in a landfill, which will just keep growing. The EPA, which is the Environmental Protection Agency, in 2016 says that 75% of the American waste stream can be recycled, but isn't because people don't have as much access in rural areas. And so this is why I've kind of brought up this issue with y'all, as it is a big deal in the world, and the world is evolving, and we need to evolve with it. But not only are landfills wasteful, but they're also more expensive. So Lane Community College did a study in 2014, which said that the cost to recycle 1 ton of material was $359.21, while to cost the landfill of 1 ton of material is $717.11. So that's about a $400 difference in the price that you're paying to landfill versus recycle, because with recycling you don't have to buy the land. And Lynn Bastille, he was posted in eHow. So this man is a solid waste planning engineer and a recycling program coordinator. And so he talks about the issues of the financial situation of recycling in this video here, and I'll go ahead and play it for y'all.
If you take
roughly 1,300 pounds of compacted recycling. That's 1 cubic yard of space that you have saved on a landfill. As the prices of properties continually increase, the price of landfills are going to continually increase.
So he kind of touches on the issue of the wasteful amount of land and the more expensive cost-wise it is to use a landfill rather than recycling. And this is why it would be beneficial for Decatur to invest in a recycling program. And so now that we've seen that recycling is a key piece needed for waste management and money saving, I'm going to talk about how we can solve this issue. And in my mind, it is the most beneficial if we partner with a recycling program that outsources from a bigger city. And the one that I think would be the perfect solution for Decatur, Texas would be Recycle Revolution Dallas. So they've been around for 11 years and they outsource recycling to small cities outside of the big metropolitan area of DFW. And with this, I've put on their contacts here, and so their number and their email is on here. But it's been proven for smaller cities that they do benefit from from combining with a recycling program from a bigger city. So in Castro Valley, which is in California Bay Area, and waste management, they do this thing that's called a bundled program. And so if your garbage container is 3 cubic yards or smaller, you get that in recycling automatically. So once you buy your garbage bin, you get a recycling bin right along with it. And they call this the bundled plan. A lot of cities do this, and one of the cities that does offer this is Georgetown, Texas, which I figured out this summer. And I interviewed a man named Ellis Hinton who lives in Georgetown, Texas, and he's lived in many different states, such as Colorado or California, and he's also lived in Tyler, Texas. And this has been the first place where he's been offered a bundled plan. And this just shows that it's a lot more convenient for the community as well as the city to have a bundled plan to where they get recycling along with their garbage. And so that's what Recycle Revolution Dallas would do for Decatur, Texas. And that's why I believe that we should partner with them. So now that we've reviewed a solution to the lack of accessibility to recycling in Dallas, or Decatur, Texas, I'll go ahead and review what we've learned and discussed today. So for recycling accessibility, we need to partner with a recycling program. And the perfect program would be Recycle Revolution Dallas, which I put their contacts on here. We need to know that, now that we know that recycling is an issue that we need to solve in Decatur, Texas, and it's not for economic and ecological issues, and we need to partner with a recycling program. So City Council Advisory, today I challenge you to pair with this recycling program. I challenge you to contact and reach out to them today. We need to make a change. As the world grows and continues developing, the waste that we use is left behind. And using things such as landfills is a much more temporary solution that needs to be happening. Continuing to bury the waste in landfills is an extremely temporary solution. It's out of sight, but it's not out of mind. We need to begin utilizing our resources and reduce, reuse, and recycle.
Recycle.
Woo! I met my time.
How long you go?